I applied two times. When I applied for the first time, I did not give GRE. I just applied it on my IELTS score, and also my CGPA are not that good. So I was not able to stand out from other profiles during that time. And my main mission was to get from some good universities. I just did not want to go to US just for the sake of going.
Welcome to Student Stories from Yocket Tours. Today we have with us Darshil. Darshil graduated from Indus University of Ahmedabad in Computer Science and Engineering in 2020. He has total 3 years of work ex and he is going to Santa Clara University for his MS in CS. How did you manage your study abroad preparation with a job?
So I believe it's like you should take one step at a time. So firstly, I gave my IELTS exams, and for that I used to prepare around 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours every day after work, around like in the night after 8 or 9 p.m. And apart from that, whenever I used to get time during my office hours, like in the lunch break or so, then I would just go through the listening videos on YouTube and all. So that's how I did my listening, and for the rest of the part I did it after office. And during the last week of exam, I took 2 to 3 leaves, and during that period I practiced my speaking skills. So for that I used to, just randomly pick up a topic and start speaking myself, and I used to record it on my phone, and then based on that I would evaluate myself. And after that, for GRE, yes, definitely it was a bit tough. So I used to spend more time during weekends. I used to study around 4 to 6 hours, and apart from that, after work, 2 to 3 hours. And during last 15 days, I was just giving tests. So I give a lot of tests actually for the GRE. Sometimes just the maths part, just the vocab part, and at the end I used to mix both of them and give the full test.
What was the major challenge in your study abroad journey?
Actually, I applied two times. When I applied for the first time, I did not give GRE. I just applied it on my IELTS score, and also my CGPA are not that good. So I was not able to stand out from other profiles during that time. And my main mission was to get from some good universities. I just did not want to go to US just for the sake of going. So after that, for the first time when I applied, I was not going through Yocket. I had some another consultancy. Then I shifted to Yocket, and then I remember that my counselor like really pushed me for GRE, that you have to give GRE and it will be good for your profile. So during that time I only had these kind of insecurities regarding my profile, that I have one backlog, my GPA is not good, and I haven't given GRE, so how is that going to affect my profile? But after I gave my GRE, I guess the only things I was worried about was the SOPs and LOR, because took they take those things really very seriously.
How did Yocket Premium help you in your journey?
I asked a lot of questions actually to my counselor during the entire process, and she explained me about how there is this holistic approach that these universities use to provide to, like, reach to a decision. And apart from that, my strengths were that I had a lot of good experience. Apart from that, I also was having my own own projects that I did here apart from my company's project. So she told me to use those strengths in and mention them in my SOPs very effectively. And then obviously the GRE score covered up my average GPA. I remember that Yocket's the documentation part that Yocket counselor helped was really amazing. They really gave me some advices which were like, completely out of mind, and I have never thought of those points, but they mentioned it that these should be articulated in this particular way. So that was one of the biggest benefit that I would appreciate from Yocket Premium. Apart from that, resume building, there were few things that I was worried about, whether this should be mentioned, this should not mention. So the Yocket counselors helped me there. Apart from that, the university selection was also a major part of the process that they helped me with. I had few universities in my list, but they really helped me to. They gave me true advices. Like after having rejections for the first time from all the universities that I applied, the second time I was a bit worried, so I used to keep a lot of safe universities in my list. But the Yocket counselor pushed me to aim for ambitious ones as well. So what the question was in my mind is that. What if I apply to the ambitious colleges and I don't get an admit, because I had already got rejections one time, so I did not want to go over the process again. So there she helped, and the biggest difference that I would say between other consultants and Yocket is that you guys really aim for good universities. It's not just that you give a list of average universities, because that's what I've noticed with other consultancies.
Any words of wisdom you would like to share for study abroad aspirants?
See, I believe is that going abroad process is not something that we do again and again, and it's something that is different for everyone. So there is not a fixed formula that applies to all of them. But it is really very important to document your strengths, and at the same time cover your weaknesses, or I would say rather, mention the uh, reasonable the reason of why this failure was there. For example, if a student has a lot of backlogs, then he should have a you know justifiable reason that why this happened and how he has covered it up in his future progress track. So these are the things that is really noteworthy, and that you should mention in your SOP as well as your resume. So the first thing is to identify your strengths and weaknesses, and second is to articulate them well. So for both of these things, I think consultancy plays a big role, because you guys are experienced enough in this process and you have enough knowledge on what type of vocabulary you should use, what type of language and format should be used. So that's where consultancy plays a major role. That's pretty much about it.
Check out Yocket Connect to connect with 7 lakh plus students like these.